in 2010, and recently after we got married and after our honeymoon, my wife started to have some health problems and she started to faint. Couldn't really figure out what was going on. You know, she's in good health and as far as we knew, and so we got her checked out. And soon after that checkout process, we had an EKG done and saw a blip on the EKG report. And soon after that, we were talking to a heart surgeon. So to kind of frame this up, we went from wedding bells to mortality risks. And what happened was they found a hole in my wife's heart.
This big.
About the size of a silver dollar. It's called an ASD. It's something that Mary is most likely born with, but hers had developed to a very large size, and the risks were stroke and so forth, and we had to have surgery performed quickly. After Mary's surgery, she was in recovery at the intensive care unit at St. John's West Shore. And you have to picture this, she's kind of wrapped up like an Eskimo. They have to freeze you when you're in surgery, and she's on a lot of painkillers. In and out of consciousness. I'm standing over her bedside holding her hand, and she's mumbling a lot of things. But at one point, she wakes up with a very clear focus in her eyes and says to me distinctly, Psalms 21:31. And as you can imagine, this hit me like a ton of bricks and just gave me pause. Later on that night, I got a text message from Mary, and then after that, a call from the nurse. Mary was not doing well. She had developed a fever, an infection maybe after the surgery. Her blood pressure was dropping, her heart rate was going up, and they wanted me to come back in to be with her. When I got there, it was crazy. Nurses in and out, her machines going off with alarms. She was not in a great state. The sense of calm came over me is the best way I can describe it, and I knew just what to do. I sat down with my wife, I grabbed her hand, and she was looking at me, and I started to read from the book of Psalms, and I read Psalm 21 and Psalm 31, and at the very last word of Psalm 31, Mary looks at me again with that clear focus, and she says, "Oh, honey, that's so good to know. That's so nice to hear." And you know, like that, church, she fell asleep. And during that sleep, she slept for about 5 to 6 hours. Her fever broke, and by the time she woke up, she was making a full recovery. So just incredible how God chose to enter our lives at that point and see us through.